Okay, so the thing is, actually, technically isn't in your tables, but what I told you was go to page 20. You can use the minus b formula to make the formula you're going to need. All right. Somebody asked me to do question 3. We'll do 3 and 5. I did 1 and 6 yesterday, I think, or did 6 yesterday, and then we'll move on to the other ones. Now, what you're going to do first of all, step number 1. Does anyone remember from yesterday? What's step number 1, guys? Make sure it's not arithmetic. Or if it is arithmetic, you get to use the arithmetic formula. If it's not arithmetic, you don't get to use the arithmetic formula. 2, 6, 12, 20, 30. Okay. Then you have a gap of 4, a gap of 6, a gap of 8, and a gap of 10. Because the first differences aren't the same, this sequence in question is not arithmetic, it's not linear. It's neither. Therefore, we go to the second difference. What's the second difference, David? Good man, 2. Now, once you get your second difference, what you then do is you go, okay, I don't get to use the normal formula. I have to remember what the quadratic formula is. Quadratic formula is not in your tables, but what I did tell you is that if you go to the minus b formula, you'll see this in the corner. You'll see that in the corner. And what I said was that your Tn formula is closely related to this. So your Tn formula is actually going to be an squared plus bn plus c. Instead of x's, you use n's, and there's no equal 0. So that's what I was telling you last night. It's actually not in your tables, but you can use something from your tables to help you remember. Or best, probably just learn off by heart if you can do that. Now that happens, okay, what we then do is we have a task. The task is to find out what A, B, and C are. That's when the question is nearly done. A, B, and C is the second last step to the question. First of all, how do you get A? Half the second difference. Half of 2? 1. After that step, you modify the Tn formula. Tn equals 1n squared plus bn plus c. That alright? Can anybody in the class tell me what do you do next? Connor, what do you try next then? So if you sub in 1, you find out what T1 is. Okay. See the 1n squared. The 1 doesn't necessarily have to be there. 1n squared is n squared. Now, I replace n with 1. B times 1 plus c. Now, what is T1, lads? Put it away. What is T1? 2. Okay, so we have 1 plus b plus c equals 2. What happens to the number 1? Goes to the other side and becomes minus 1. And when it comes minus 1, b plus c equals 1. That's one of the equations, okay? Next, you're going to work on T2. David, what happens when you use T2? For what? Okay, so what you get? 2 squared. Yeah. Plus. Yeah. Okay, equals T2. T2 is what number? 6. Okay, that's grand. 2 squared is 4. 2b is 2. B times 2 is 2b plus c equals 6. What happens to that 4? And comes a minus 4. So 2b plus c equals 2. What is the next step in doing this? Simultaneous equation. Okay. So when you do a simultaneous equation, which letter is the one you pretty much always get rid of first? The c value. So 2b plus c equals 2. Minus b minus c equals 1. 2b minus b? b. b equals minus 1, sorry. Yeah, b equals 1. So b equals 1. But you're also told in the corner that b plus c equals 1. 1 plus c equals 1. What does that mean c is? C is 0. You've accumulated what you need to know. A is 1, B is 1, C is 0. Sam? Okay. Now that you've done that, what happens next, guys, is you've got your A, B, and C value, but what you haven't done is you haven't filled out your formula yet. So when you fill out your formula, you bring it down here. That's what you used at the start. So what's the A value again? So 1n squared. What's your B value? 1n. And then C value? 0. How would you check if it's right or wrong? How would you check that this answer is right or wrong? Sorry? Sub in one of the terms, one of the numbers. Like you could sub in anywhere from 1 to 5 and check that it gives you the same answer. So, as an example, predict if I used n equals 4, what answer should I get? If I use n equals 4, I should get 20. Let's try that out. T4 equals 4 squared plus 1 multiplied by 4. T4 equals 16 plus 4, which is 20. Now, for some of you, even if you know all this already, I can show you another quick way of doing it. You could also use the table function on your calculator. I didn't want to go to this too early in the day. Now, see your formula here, n squared plus 1n. You could call that x squared. Sorry, x squared plus 1x is what you could call it. And it works the same way. You start off at t1. T1 means you start at 1. T5 is your ending. Does this match up the same way? Term 1 is 2. Term 2 is 6. Term 3 is 12. Term 4 is 20. Term 5 is 30. So you can actually check it using your calculator, using the table function as well, if you want. Is that alright? Okay, so that's one of them down. Does anybody want me to do number 5? Checking it basically means if it says verify answer, yes. But in a test you'll check it anyway, because that means you can go away from the question and dead certainty that you got it right. So it means these are sequences and series are questions you can actually check before you leave the exam. So you'll actually know if you're right or wrong before you even leave, which is really handy. And for the most part, some of you guys will have a wee bit of time at the end to do that. Okay, guys, same thing again. 0, 0, 2, 6, 12. Is this sequence arithmetic? No. Gap is 2. Oh, sorry. 0. 0, 2, 4, 6. Everybody happy with that? Now, happens next, guys, is the second difference. 2, 2, 2. A value is 1. Half of the second difference. Changes your formula into n squared plus bn plus c. Next thing after that, guys, we're going to have to do t1 and t2 again. T1, so replace n with 1, what do you get? Yeah, and that will equal, what is t1? 0. 1 plus b plus c equals 0. What happens when you move the 1 over to your side? Minus 1. Okay, t2. Replace all n's with 2's. 2 squared plus b times 2 plus c equals t2. T2 is 0. Okay. And then after that, 4 plus b plus c equals 0. Okay. After that, what you do next? Multiply this equation here by minus 1, and you get minus b minus c equals 1. And then after that, we're going to get b equals, then we get b equals minus 3. Yeah? Lads, b equals minus 3. Now we're also told that b plus c is minus 1. Minus 3 plus c equals minus 1. What does that mean for c? Minus 1 plus 3, c equals plus 2. Take down your equation at the top, this one here. Now we're going to fill it in. What numbers do we fill in for this then? Tn is, anybody? What's the a value? The a value? 1. N squared. What's the b value? And then the c value? 2. Now guys, if you're looking to check this out really quickly, you can do the same trick as last time. You can go to your calculator, you can do x squared instead of n squared. You do minus 3x. And then you can do plus 2. Start at 1, end at 5. Step of 1. Is this the sequence? 0, 0, 2, 6, 12. That's it, isn't it? 0, 0, 2, 6, 12. And then you know you're right. Alright guys, that's as hard as it gets. The other questions that are on this, they just dress them up, okay? You'll see they're exactly the same thing. So what it says is a rocket is launched from ground level and its height is recorded each second after blast off. Each second after blast off. So T1 is 22. What does that mean? What does T1 stand for? It's height after. 1 second. T2 is 36. T3 52. T4 70. Now look what happens here. 14 in the gap. 16 in the gap. 18 of a gap. 2 and 2. Okay. They want you to do the same question. They want you to use the Tn formula. They want you to find an squared plus bn plus c. They want you to do that. Once you find this formula, then what do they want you to do? Find how far the rocket will be up after 10 seconds. That will be T10. Replace n with 10. Find the height. How many seconds in a minute? They want you to find T60 after that. And then finally, knowing that the rocket does not rise uniformly, give a reason why a rocket would rise faster as time passes. Oh, that's a real physicsy question. Less air resistance as you get out of the who said that? Carmen, do you do physics? Okay, so basically, as you get further and further away from the Earth, yeah. So guys, when you get further and further away from the Earth, what happens is the air becomes thinner and thinner and thinner. The less air resistance you have, the faster it goes. You'll often hear of tennis players. They're playing when they play in high altitude. There's a place in California. That's where the world record serves are always. People get over 150 miles an hour in those venues, purely because the ball has less air resistance. So that's where the record, world record serves for tennis were performed at altitudes as opposed to at ground level at Wimbledon. Okay.